Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. It's now time to make the monthly account update, where I talk about the Retire Now account and how I'm doing at the end of each month. So this video, I'm on the wrong tab. So this video is basically for the month end of January 2024. Making this video on February 4th, right? Today's February 4th, yep. So let's get to it. So basically this is, what I did and what I have as of the close on Friday, which was up February 2nd. So let's look at my holdings. So first off, overall, the holdings that I've had, following up from last month, the only change is I added, if you look on the bottom, I added FEPI. So that was the only addition to the account. And I added FEPI, so far I've added about 15 shares. Again, small position, but I'm gonna work my way up. I learned my lesson. I'm not just gonna jump in full speed and add, too many shares because, you can get burnt. Now, speaking of that, I have TSLY at the top, and you may know this already, but it shows 1,000 shares. Previously, I had 1,700 shares, but I had to make a change because, as most of you know, I was very highly allocated on Tesla, and the plan was just to leave those shares alone and let them do what it's going to do. Don't add to it, and eventually my allocation would go down, which, I was okay with that plan. But in summary, it was just too much for me. I was too heavily allocated on a fund that is, I'll just say crazy. It's a great fund. I'm going to keep 1,000 shares, but the reason I sold 700 is I did not want to have that much of an allocation on a fund that is just like a whirlwind, right? I love the YieldMax funds, but TSLY, by far, that is the craziest and most, the high risk one. So to have, what did I have? If I go to the bottom, you could see my allocation, which is based on current position, was 35%. And, it was going down, yes, but it was going down because, the capital was going down, and it, didn't seem like it was going to recover anytime soon. So, and even if it recovered, my allocation would be even higher. So, but in summary, I moved my allocation from 35%. Now I'm down to 20%. So I can live with 20% because I don't have that many, different shares for this account. I have 15. So, eventually I want a minimum of 20. So that I could do 5% each position, 10% being the maximum allotted, I would say I'd be comfortable with. 20% is still way too high. But, knowing, you guys I love even numbers. So I cut 700. I own an even 1,000. It's just going to stay like that. However, I did take a loss. I took a loss of $4,000, $4,067. So that'll hopefully be my only sell for this year. I'll use 3,000 of that on my taxes at the end of the year. I know it's very early, obviously, but yeah, so I had to do it. So yeah, as you can see now, my current allocation into Tesla is 20%. I am still down $4,320. But if I use total distributions, which included the 1,700 shares, obviously, historically, I'm actually up in total return 761, which I know the loss, when you count the loss, it's not exactly a total return. But now the loss is gone, so we can move on and, we'll go from here. So again, I own now 1,000 shares of Tesla, and I do not plan on adding to it until I get to a lower allocation. All right, what about AMZ? How's AMZ doing? Well, AMZ is 11.9% of my portfolio. I have $363 capital gains, so I'm up on that position. I've made $448 in distribution, so total return on AMZ, I made $811. This just shows, a ticker like AMZ shows the power of these funds. If you buy in at the right time, and you buy in periodically, things can work out. If you do what I did on Tesla, it's not going to work. Again, what did I do? I bought, basically, in the beginning, I think I bought like 1,200 shares all at once. And my average, at the time was $15. So you can't do it that way. You got to buy a little here and there. And I did that with AMZ, and look at that. Great position. How about NVIDIA? Well, NVIDIA is 10% of my total portfolio, and I am up $739 in capital gains. Total distributions paid, $463, and total return, $1,200. So that is, amazing. I'm very happy with that position. Nefli is about 8.7% of my current allocation. That's more so in the range where I like, to have these funds. Obviously, again, I only own 15, so the allocation is going to be pretty high on most of these. I'm up on that one, capital gain wise too. I'm up $200. They paid about $513. So total return, I am up $713. Okay. Now let's go to Coney. Coney, I was always up, but as you know, I ended up buying more. So my cost basis went from like $18. Now it's at 22. But should I have waited? Obviously. But I didn't think it would go back down this far, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. We'll make it back. My current allocation for Coney is very small, 5%. I'm comfortable with that. Capital gains, I'm down to 12. Total distributions, I made 202. So total return, I'm down $9. That's okay. Clip is 3% of my portfolio. I'm down capital, $261. Total distributions, I've made 210. Total return, -50. Jeppy, 3% of my portfolio. I'm down $20, made 71, so I'm up 51 total return. QQQY, 4%, 4.83% of my portfolio. I'm down $42. I made 120 in distributions, so I am up $78. IWMY is 3% of my portfolio. I'm down $15. Capital gains. Total distributions, $25. Total return, $10. I was actually up on these three before the end of last week. They took a turn last week. And I did buy more. The trick with these, I've noticed, you just buy them on ex-dividend date because that is the best discount. And guess what? If the day after ex-dividend date is a red day, you buy it again. And if the day after that is another red day, you keep buying. And that's the best discount you can get. That's what I learned with those funds. All right, SFUL. Again, one of the ones behind the scenes, never gets enough credit, but it's Mr. Consistent, 4% of my portfolio. Capital gains, I'm down $5. Sorry, had to get a sip of water. Throat's been killing me. Distributions, $90, and total return, $84. Okay. SPY is one of my favorites. That is for sure. 7.76%. Capital gains, I am up 108.50. Total distributions, $142. Total return, $250. Doing good on that one. HCOW, another one of my favorites. 1.14% of my portfolio. Capital gains, $24.40. Total distributions, $857. Total return, $32.97. This one I bought in, and I've been up on capital ever since, so I haven't had the chance to buy more. Their yield is very low, though, compared to some of these. Theta, I believe this is the SoFi one. Current allocation, 0.9%. Capital gains, -1.4, $1.40. Total distributions, $579. They don't pay much either. Total return, $439. These are more, this is a really new fund, kind of, experimenting. We'll see how they do, though. It's good diversification. So anyway, TLTW, I like this one as well for diversification. Current allocation, it's about 4.24% of the portfolio. Capital gains, I'm down $25.20. Total distributions, $14.92. Total return, I'm down $10.28. Now, last but not least, everyone's favorite. People love FEPI. There's not many people that hate FEPI. Current allocation, 1.9%. Capital gains, I'm up $9.15 already. I just, created a position. Total return, $9.15 because I haven't been able to get a distribution yet, again, because I just started the position. Since I sold Tesla, I have cash. I used a lot of the cash to buy FEPI and the Defiance tickers. I also bought TLTW, and that's it. So I have $4,100 left to play around with. And guess what? I'm not going to rush to buy, anything humongous. I'm probably just going to buy, 5 to 10 shares each day based on the best discount. And that's how I'm going to play it. And again, this account, I also do add new money to it. I add $250 every week to the fund because this is the Retire Now account. Now, zooming out, I also have a column for distribution return of investment. This is something I would like to be 100%, especially on the YieldMaxers. I mean, not TSLY. It's kind of like messed up now because I took a loss. But again, if you if I take that off, but I still count the distributions from those shares I sold, I'm at 38% ROI. Nvidia, Nefli, Clip, all above 10% ROI. So, these numbers are going to get better and better as I hold and they can continue to pay distributions. Total return overall, I'm up $3,942, okay? Now, again, that's capital gains, which is negative $3,458, majority being Tesla. And that's distributions, inception to date, $7,400. So that's a total return, $3,942. So overall, not terrible. The capital is still damaged. It is what it is. Even after the sale, it's still, pretty ugly because of my Tesla average is now $13.33. Because when I sold, 1 second, please. When I sold the 700, I chose first in, first out, and the first in had a higher cost basis, which was around $14-15 each. So obviously, as I got rid of the higher cost basis, my overall cost basis that was left averages to be $13.33, which is much better than what it was. But if you look, the trade price is $901. So obviously that's why I'm still down $4,320. So yeah, a lot of people throughout the month always ask me, what I'm holding. This is what I'm holding. This is every fund here. If you guys want to take a snapshot, this is it. This is everything I'm holding in the Retire Now account. And I have risk associated with each one. So I would consider basically the YieldMax and the Defiance high risk. Everything else I own, I consider mid-risk. SFOL, SPY, SPY, HCOW, Theta, TLTW, and FEPI. I consider that mid-risk. Well, what is low risk? Low risk would be the SCHDs of the world. Low risk would be the, the Vanguard, the VIG, I think it's called. The other ones. And by the way, guys, heads up, I'm going to make a video about, because this is one account. This is my Retire Now account. The point of this account is to utilize now, to use the income now. For what? Well, because my wife is going to leave her job this year, and this is going to be supplemental income to help pay the bills. However, my YouTube channel has been having a little more success than I had planned. So I may not have to use all of this income to supplement, and pay the bills. I may be able to use, YouTube income, which could help, which is really good. So I would love to honestly not use any of this income and then continue to just reinvest. What I will lose though is, because I do $250 a week right now, and we both get paid bi-weekly on opposite weeks, I'll lose $500 a month of deposits into this account. So it'll be only $500 from mine, and that's even if I keep it, because again, we're losing a source of income. So yeah, that's what this account is for. I have two other accounts. One, the biggest account of which is my 401k with my employer. This is a kind of a limited option account where I can only choose index funds. So what I do is I choose, high risk, high reward high growth index funds. And I let them, let them do its thing. So that's my growth fund. That's my, all my growth funds are in my 401k because basically I don't have a choice. And you know what? That's fine. And then I have my wife's 401k, which when she leaves, it'll be converted to a Roth IRA. That account, and before you ask, yes, it's currently a Roth 401k, so I won't have to pay the income on that. So it'll be a Roth 401k to a Roth IRA. And then that'll be what I'm going to call the retire on dividends account. What this will be is, this will look like how my retirement account will look like. When all said and done, when I'm 50, 60, whatever age I retire, that is what it will look like. And I'll share that video. I'm very excited about it. The intro video, I'll share that probably tomorrow if life allows me to. I'm actually off work tomorrow, but I have to take care of my son who's still recovering from getting his tonsils taken out. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so the calculation tab, this is where I have a summary. So if you look now, let me zoom in a little so you guys can see. So I started this journey, September was the first month. So I put all that capital to work right away, which again, that was a mistake. First month I yielded 36%, next month 41%, next month 40%, 41%, and then this month 40%. I'm making this calculation. I really am hoping to yield 40% on average each month. So if you look at the estimate column B and C. So this is what I estimate to make in income each month and what I estimate to have in capital each month. So if you go under the actual column, under income, you'll see the ones in green. Those, if you see green, that means I met my goal. So this month I just barely hit it. I was hoping to get 1623. I made 1644. So that was a win. However, look at my yield. It's just on the cusp of 40%. Also, one thing to consider is this included 700 shares of Tesla, which I would no longer have the income for. So next month, I did deduct a realized loss of 4,067, which again, that got taken away. I took that away from the capital. Should I have taken away just the loss or what I originally put into it? I'll just take away the loss. I don't want to, because right now, again, my capital was supposed to be, where is it? Yeah, 47,000. Where did I deduct it from? B18. No. Oh, I did on this one. Okay, yeah, I did on this month. So yeah, my capital last month was supposed to be 48,707, and then I only had 45,000. This month it was supposed to be 47,263. That's with the loss now, and my capital is 44,000. So I'm not hitting my capital, goals, and that's because of Tesla. Not gonna lie, it's because of Tesla. So, will I ever hit the capital goals? Maybe. I have the assistance column, which is kind of adding to, and helping me out. I threw another 400 in this month. And again, hopefully the main goal is income. I just, scrolling down, when is my wife leaving her job? The latest will be June because my son will be out of school in June. So it'll happen by then. Hopefully by then I'll have almost $2,000 per month in income. And, again, I don't know what YouTube can, they could shut down your channel at any time, or people could become less interested. So I really can't rely on YouTube as much, but however, I'm riding with it. I'm not going to quit. I'm enjoying the ride. It's doing well. So if that does replace my wife's income and I could leave this alone, this is going to be great. The only thing I'll change, like I said, is the contribution. The 1,000 could go to 500 or it can go to 0. If it goes to 0, then obviously the goal will reflect only the reinvestment of dividends. So yeah, this is my, people wanted me to see this through. But again, this is assuming the 1,000 contribution, which will not be the case. So it goes down to what, December 2028. We're in what, 24? That's 4 years away. In 4 years, I'll be 45 years old. So if I could produce $16,000 in monthly income, that would be absolutely amazing. And I could possibly retire. So just, really good stuff here. Again, I may make some adjustments to the math because the capital is something I may not reach. I may have to add something for possible capital, oh my God, I can't talk. Capital reduction for each month. Just a small reduction because, again, these funds could go down over time because, again, they're capped at the upside, but they take the full downside. Not all of these, just mainly the YieldMax, Defiance, etc. So yeah, that's where I stand. Again, I yielded 40% this month, which is really good. Next month, my goal drops to 1575, but again, that's because my capital is now minus the loss that I had to take out. So I'm gonna go for 1575, but I'm not gonna try to rush to put all the cash to work. Again, like for example, I bought the Defiance ETFs this month, but I bought on X date, and guess what? That's not gonna pay me till March. It's not gonna help me in February. So my February payment, it may not be the greatest. I may not hit, the 1500. But, we'll see what happens. Again, this is my Retire Now account. And the goal of this account is to replace my wife's income and eventually my income. Obviously, I have 2 other accounts where I'm working on different strategies. Again, one of which, my 401k, that's the growth. I can't touch that till 55, rule of 55. I don't know if you guys heard of it. You quit your job at 55. Supposedly, you can use that money without penalty. And then I have my wife's 401k, which will be converted to a Roth IRA. That I can't touch till 59 and a half, till she's 59 and a half. But I'll get into that in the next video when I talk about my Retire on Dividends account, okay? But again, the point of this account is to do high risk, high reward. I'm investing in only high risk, and mids, I should say. And I'm trying to make consistent income every single month. I want my income to go up. I'm gonna add new money. I'm gonna reinvest all the money as long as I can, and then hope for the best. So hopefully, again, the goal is by summer to produce $2,000 a month, which by that point I may or may not be using to supplement, again, to pay the bills, to help pay the bills in the household. But the good thing is when she stops working, we no longer have to pay the daycare bill. So that, that's an expense that goes down. Along with gas and tolls, that's also another expense that goes away on top of delivery fees, which is another expense that goes away. So there's good and bad. Anyway, so that's the Retire Now account update. Please do not take any of this as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. My videos are for fun and entertainment. I'm here to share my journey. I'm here to share every single thing that I'm doing. I'm not hiding anything. I'm sharing it all. And again, this is one account. I will talk about the Retire on Dividends account, which for those of you who are interested in retiring and what that's going to look like, yeah, obviously I'm not going to put everything in YieldMax in my retirement account. I'm going to spread it out in quarters, but we'll get into that. I'm certainly going to utilize YieldMax, Defiance, and these other funds because it's absolutely amazing. And to me, it would be just stupid not to, because it helps, generate such a high income. But if you blend that with the safer options, you could make a deadly force, a deadly team. And again, I'll cover that. But for now, this is the Retire Now account. This is the aggressive money now. Give me the money now. I'm using it. I'm having fun. I'm paying bills. I'm going out. I'm doing whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button. Again, I do these videos once a month. I show you how I did for the month, where I'm at, what the future looks like. So I really do hope you enjoy this content as well as the other content I put out. But like I said, if you did, please click like. If you have any questions about my journey and the Retire Now account, please leave it in the comments below. All right, I gotta go. I hear a lot of noise in the household, so let me get upstairs and have a great rest of your weekend. Later.